you so much. Good morning, colleagues. Good morning to all. Yes, today Muneza brought engineers and now try to disorganize us, but we shall continue the program. With us is the Minister of State for Finance, the Honorable Henry Musasizi, who is here with officials from PPDA, headed by the ED, Mr. Benson Turamye. We also have the chairperson, Mr. Julius K. Ishungiza. Yes, sorry for. And we are also having the Director General UIA, Mr. Robert Mukiza, Uganda Investment Authority. Yes, sir. And the team plus the minister, they are going to update us on the issues concerning the 14th East African Procurement Forum. At this moment, allow me to welcome the Honorable Minister to address us on this subject matter. You most welcome, sir.
Good morning to you all. The Chairman, Board of Directors, Public Procurement and Disposal of Public Assets Authority, Mr. Julius Ishungiza, the Executive Director, Public Procurement and Disposal of Public Assets, Mr. Benson Turamye, Director General at Uganda Investment Authority, UIA, not UYA, Mr. Robert Mukiza, Mr. Moses Agaba, the CEO of Fakir International Projects, members of the media fraternity, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you for turning up and honoring our invitation for the media briefing. My name is Henry Musasizi, Minister of State for General Duties at the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development. Let me take this opportunity to congratulate you upon making it to the tail end of this calendar year 2022, and I pray that we enter into the new year 2023 successfully. I'm excited to announce that Uganda, through Public Procurement and Disposal of Public Assets Authority, PPDA, will be hosting the 14th Annual East African Procurement Forum and Business Expo 2023. This forum is a meeting of the East African Community Procurement Regulatory Bodies that is convened annually since 2008, including Public Procurement and Disposal of Public Assets Authority of Uganda. The Procurement Authority of Kenya is also one of them. Tanzania is one of them. Rwanda is one of them. And all other partner states that form the East African community. And these bodies regulate over 200,000 suppliers with a procurement market size estimated at over $100 billion US annually. The annual forum attracts around 300 participants, including government officials, public procurement industry experts, government suppliers, development partners, members of civil society, and procurement training institutions, among others, in order to discuss public procurement issues and to come up with tangible resolutions impacting legal and regulatory framework of public procurement industry. In addition, the East African community, in addition to the East African community, other participants are drawn from other regional and international public procurement regulatory and professional organizations, notably the African Public Procurement Network. The main purpose of the forum is to increase interaction and knowledge sharing and to consolidate efforts towards improving the public procurement landscape in the region. At the 13th forum, which was held in Kigali, Rwanda, from 15th to 16th April 2021, Uganda was given a mantle to organize and host the 14th forum in Kampala, which is the reason why we are here to announce our preparatory plans and expectations going forward. This forum was originally scheduled for November 2022 and was later on pushed to March 2023, particularly because of the guidance from the Ministry of Health on Ebola virus situation, but also to secure more time to manage the logistical issues. Now that we have overcome Ebola virus situation, I am confident to announce that the PPDA Uganda will host the 14th East African Procurement Forum and Business Expo on behalf of the government of Uganda under the theme Open Contracting as a Vehicle to Sustainable Development. The forum will take place from 23rd to 26th March 2023 at the Kololo Independence Grounds in Kampala, and for the first time on the sidelines of the East Africa Procurement Forum, we shall also have an East African Business Expo organized along in a private-public partnership arrangement. PPDA is therefore partnering with a private firm called Fairfield International Projects Limited to organize a joint East African Procurement Forum and Business Expo. The expo will have business clinic designed to skill and avail opportunities to develop the suppliers. As government, we know that public procurement is important for the country's economic growth. As you may be aware, over 60% of the national budget is spent on public procurement. We consider it as an integral part of strategic governance. I believe this forum and the Business Expo align well with the East African region's efforts in consolidating momentum that will drive the region into socio-economic transformation, prosperity, and sustainable development. This East African Procurement Forum and Business Expo is therefore an opportunity for Uganda as a nation to share experiences and challenges with the aim of improving with the aim of improving the country's procurement systems while upholding the desire by member states to harmonize the systems towards political federation. As a ministry that oversees the work of PPDA, we pledge to continue playing a pivotal role in the coordination of development planning, mobilization of public resources, and ensuring effective accountability for the use of such resources for the benefit of all Ugandans. As a government, we continue to ensure that Ugandans benefit from the East African community integration through platforms such as the East African Procurement Forum and Business Expo. Therefore, PPDA can always count on us for our support. I want to urge business people and companies from Uganda and East Africa to come to the forum and also book space for exhibition to showcase your goods and services to key decision makers at Kololo Independence Grounds come March 23rd, 2023. The details on how to book space and exhibition will be provided by PPDA and their partner who is here with us. I say this for God and my country. Thank you so much. I would like to invite the Executive Director of the Uganda Investment Authority to make emphasis on the Business Expo and also inform the country about the opportunities, the investment opportunities available in Uganda for the benefit of the people who will participate in the expo. Mr. Muchiza, the floor is yours.
Honorable Minister of State for Finance, is it on? You put it up. Is it? You can hear me? It's better now, eh? Okay. Honorable Minister of State for Finance, General Duties. Let me hold it because it doesn't go further enough. Honorable Minister of State for Finance and General Duties, Honorable Musasizi, the Board Chairman, PPDA, my colleague, the Executive Director, Public Procurement and Disposal of Assets Board, the CEO of Fadhil International Projects, media here present, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, let me congratulate PPDA on taking on this matter, really, to organize this important event in March, the 14th East African Procurement Forum and Business Expo. So I'm going to talk mainly about the opportunity for businesses and investors during this expo. We know recently the Democratic Republic of Congo joined the East African community. So we have a market of almost 300 million people, quota-free and tariff-free. So recently, actually, there was a Somalia-Uganda Investment Forum, and Somalia is also looking to join the East African community. So you have a market there for 300 million people, quota-free and tariff-free. So for me, that is the opportunity that has to be sold at this summit. Businesses that are coming here, if you set up in Uganda, you can have access to these markets quota-free and tariff-free. From that's the major point I would like to put over to our investors. but also to say, if you are coming here, all these East African investors coming to Uganda, we also have extra access to different markets apart from East Africa. So it's important to talk about that in order to ensure that Uganda is, how do I call it, a preferred business investment destination for these businesses or these entities that will come for this summit. So for example, we have COMESA, Common Market of East and Southern Africa, 600 million people, quota-free and tariff-free. Africa Continental Free Trade Area, 1.3 billion people, quota-free and tariff-free. If you set up a business in Uganda, you can access the European market, everything but arms under that trade deal. So you don't, as long as you're not selling arms, you can access that market. You can have trade deals with China, Africa Growth and Opportunity Act, 6,000 products that we can sell to the US. So we want to tell these entities that are coming here, if you do and set up your business in this region, in Uganda, as an East African, you can access these markets quota-free and tariff-free. So it's important to ensure that, and within the Investment Code Act of Uganda, it defines domestic investors as citizens of Uganda or citizens of member countries of East African Community countries. So these entities that will come here are looked at as domestic investors. So we want to tell them, of all the countries you are coming from, why don't you choose Uganda as your hub, as your central point to access all these markets all over East Africa. So the business forum really, UIA, will focus on that to tell them why is it competitive to set up in Uganda, and particularly invest in the key areas, manufacturing, agro-processing, add value to all our raw materials, ICT services. Why can't you put your factories in Uganda and access these markets quota-free and tariff-free? You have the 300 million people, citizens of this region. We are saying, come here, put your business quickly in Uganda, and access these markets quota and tariff. So we're going to concentrate on selling and on ensuring that message goes forward. But how do we do that? You know, Uganda Investment Authority is the one-stop center, bringing together all agencies of government that are involved in business and investment licensing, or in business and investment in the country, to ensure the ease of doing business in Uganda. The issue is deal with one entity instead of going to different offices and going through various bureaucracies. Deal with the one-stop center of Uganda Investment Authority and be able to start your business straight away. For example, at the one-stop center of UIA, you have URSB. You can register your business there. You have NITA, NIRA. You have immigration. You can also go and get your work permit in the one-stop center while you are there. You have KCCA. Whatever building permits you need are within the one-stop center. And after that, you also have a bank. So you can come in, get the investment license, leave with a bank account. And we shall have that one-stop center at the business summit. So we'll also encourage the entities that are coming, or our partners that are coming from all over East Africa. There will be a one-stop center stall, one-stop center setup. You can actually go there and leave with a bank account and start doing business in our country and access these markets. So really, our focus will be showing that Uganda is the easiest country to do business in this region, and you can access these markets. So we shall partner with PPDA to ensure that message is clear. So once again, I want to thank PPDA for preparing and taking on this mantle. You can count on UIA to support you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mukiza. At this moment, Honorable Minister, allow me to invite questions from the media. Sajja BBS ono mukama wange. Kwa BBS yazotawanya sebo. Oluganda bagala dogera minister wali tofayo. Yes. So colleagues, we are going to use our natural microphones. You ask a question from their side so that the minister can hear you very well. Questions? Yes, sir, boss.
My name is Kasule Mark Jackson. I work with BBS. Honorable Minister and the ADs from different entities. We have a person down there in the village. How important is this forum to that person? How are they going to benefit from it? 2, to the Uganda Investment Authority. We've had issues of you giving projects to people in courts who are close to the entity. What is the criteria used to give projects to entity to procure government things that they use?
Thank you.
Can I repeat my question? Yes.
Any other question? Waliwo ayina ekibuuzo ekirala? Okay then. Oyina?
Thank you very much. My name is Nelson Mandela Mohos from the New Vision. My question goes to probably PPDA and the Uganda Investment Authority. In 2020, published data indicated that about 99.7% of the contracts actually went to local firms, the local contractors. But and only 0.3% went to the foreign investors or contractors. But the money that, in terms of value, that actually went to the Chinese firms, the 0.3%, far way surpassed the money that went to the local contractors. My question is that, isn't that a very unfair environment? Water down the provisions that are entrenched in the local content law.
Thank you. It's called Nelson Mandela Mohos.
My name is Jerome Omara, UBC. My question is, if someone wants to package in regards to having a stall, how do they pay and to whom do they pay? Yes.
Thank you so much. We beginning with the ED Procho. Yes.
Thank you very much for those questions, and thank you very much again to responding to our call. I want to appreciate the Honorable Minister and my colleague Robert from UIA for being present. Now, Mr. Kasule, on how will the person down there benefit? The Business Expo is intended to attract investors into Uganda. And we are talking about regional investors in these other state sister partner states. So if there is increased production in the country, then there will be a trickle-down effect to the common person, common man down there. Meaning that goods will be available, manufactured here, and therefore the anticipation in the long run is that the prices of those products will go down. So that is really essential, how I can relate the Business Expo with a common person, common citizen. But also, in the forum we talked about, the minister talked about open contracting. Open contracting is our theme actually. And this is intended to allow or to create an enabling ground for government to disclose data on contracts for citizens' demand for accountability. Actually, that is the main theme. If you look at that paper you have, the theme is open contracting, and open contracting means disclosure of information, and this information can be accessed by citizens, and therefore citizens can demand accountability on government contracts. And what that means is that the service delivery by government will improve, because my village mate down there in Kanungu will say you are building a school, and that information is provided. But this school is not being done well, and therefore that's how my citizen will benefit, through popularizing this information by you, the media. In terms of procurements, and still Kasure said those who get tenders and contracts are those who are very close to government. I'm not sure whether that is factual, because public procurement and is governed by the PPDA Act of 2003 promotes fair play, competition, transparency, and accountability. Where that exists, then raise an alarm, because PPDA, again, as an authority, was established to make sure that provides oversight where there are irregularities or such scenarios, then we intervene. If we come across that, especially where there is conflict of interest, you can't be the one awarding contract and then you award to those who are close to you, your relatives and what. But also recently, actually last year, we have provided a requirement to all government entities of beneficial ownership transparency. Now, if you bid, say, in Ministry of Health, that contract, Ministry of Health will report to PPDA with a list of the directors of the owners of that contract. So that is something we are closely going to monitor. Beneficial ownership transparency. It is very important. It is a global requirement, and we have incorporated it in our rules starting this year, July. So if we find that actually the beneficial owner is a relative of the minister or an accounting officer or an executive director of PPDA, then we can question that, and then that will be in breach of the law. Nelson Mandela Muhozi, this is a very important question you have asked, and it is related to who are the beneficiaries of the contracts that government award. Is it a foreign company, or a local company? The data, the figures you have mentioned, yes, over 95% in terms of value. In terms of number, those contracts go to the local providers. What does that mean? It means that there are many, even when you buy a bottle of water through government procurement procedures, and you have issued an LPO of say 100,000, that is counted as one contract. So of that nature, there are very many. That's why you are saying above 95% in terms of number were awarded to local providers. But I want to correct you, in terms of value, it is 65, around 65% in terms of value went foreign providers. Yes, you can see the graph is good. In terms of number, the foreign providers got very few, but in terms of value, they got very high, 65%. And this is also skewed by the large contracts that go to foreign companies. Because a road of say 100 billion, one road of 100 billion can form like 1,000 small contracts of micro procurements, which are less than 5 million. So that is the skewing. But what are we doing about it? I think that's what you should focus. His Excellency the President of Uganda, in the amended bill of 2021, July, that started commencing July 2021, Section 59B provides that we reserve contracts to our local providers. And that is what we are doing. We are going to issue a guideline. There is already a guideline that is on, but we are going to amend it to make sure that we increase the values of the sale, because currently we are saying, for Honorable Minister, the road works of 45 billion should not be competed by foreign providers, should be only locals. In terms of goods, in terms of other words, other works other than roads, 10 billion. In terms of goods or supplies and consultant services, 1 billion. So these are ratios our Honorable Board are looking at. But also, in terms of building capacity for local providers so that they can compete in future for these big contracts, we are saying if a foreign provider gets a contract in Uganda, they must subcontract 30% of that value. What is the intended objective? Is not to get the 30% of the value, the money, but the intended objective is to build the capacity of this local provider that will work with a foreign provider and gain skill, so that tomorrow we can even say we no longer need foreign providers like the COVID situation we went in, and the government policy of promoting the export substitution. So in the future, that's what we are looking at after building capacity of our local providers. And the starting point is subcontracting the local providers 30% of the value. I hope I have sufficiently answered your questions. There was something to do with how do I get a stall? Mr. Moses, you can stand up for recognition. That is the FIPLO Executive Director, our private partner, and the one moving up, mobilizing the sponsors. And if you want a stall, then you can avail a stall at Kololo. Thank you very much. He has also put, we have put a system which shows how to register, how to participate in this business expo, and maybe eventually it should be communicated to the media so it can be popularized. I thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tolamie. I know that the minister is coaching is Uganda. It can take like 3 minutes. Let me have a last question. Mr. Mukito Lugano Gapu. Let us have a last question here.
Called Martha Nimsima from Smart 24 TV. This is to the Uganda Investment Authority. I would like to find out how are you going to provide security and safety to the investors coming in the country. This is basing on the fires we had in Bali at the Grace Foam factory. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Security is a preserve of the security forces. I think they are well equipped to ensure our investors are secure. One of the advantages of why Uganda is a preferred business and investment destination in this region is security of person and property is guaranteed. You are here, your property and person is guaranteed. So on security, I don't believe that is an issue. Grace Foam is just one factory that burnt in Mbale, just one. So we are very glad that that's the case. They have insurance. They will ensure that the insurance companies will look into that. But secondly, the Minister of State for Finance did order UIA to ensure now in our new industrial parks, we ensure we have our own fire fighting equipment going forward. So that's going to happen. But in terms of Mbale, it was just one factory. This happens it was an unfortunate incident, but we sent a circular earlier to all investors that if you are in our industrial parks, make sure your factories are insured, so such that in case of such eventualities, both natural and man-made, you are covered. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Oluganda Mesa Mukiza agambye tujja tufuna one-on-one. At this moment, allow me to welcome the Honorable Minister at Oluganda wa BBS omulaba yazze wano sebo. Oluganda mukama wange. Anyway, ne minister naye bwatu bwatugambye ku one-on-one katufune the ED PPDA. Nkimanyi olumanyi mukama wange. Jangu sebo.
Kabaka wangale n'Obuganda wangale kati tuli basanyefu kwogera n'aba media ku lunaku olutegekerwa olw'ebiro 23 Gwakusatu 2023 kikwata ku omukolo ogenda kubaawo nga gulumu amawanga gonna 7 aga East Africa Community: Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, Congo ne Southern Sudan ne Burundi. Omukolo guno gwatandika 2008 nga tuba twogera ku bya procurement oba bya tenda, ate nga gukolerwa mu gwanga ogubeera Uganda omwaka guno, omwaka omulala ogubeera Kenya. So omwaka guno Uganda yagenda hostinga, but ekikulu nnyo tugenda kubeerawo aba business community oba ba investors aba region yonna abagenda kubanga abakola business oba baagala kukola business naffe mu Uganda. So tubasaba nga media namwe mugwejumbiremu mube nga mugwogerako kuba kugenda kugobesa Uganda mu ngero etya. Tugenda kubaleetera ba investors batulage ebibakola. Omukolo ogenda kubeera Kololo airstrip, agenda kubawo exhibitions, agenda kubawo emisomo nga mkuru wa Uganda Investment Authority Mr. Robert Mukizo bwagambye nga bagenda kubanga one stop center oboyagala kumanye ogenda ku investing oto mu Uganda oba license ogifunirawo eya URSBS oba ebikwata ku misolo bifunirawo ebya nila obifunirawo ate wabawo na bank oyinza kusasula mu banka no bakuregisting nga investor mu Uganda. One stop center for registering investors. So tubasaba mwebatuliza muje mugwejumbiremu enaku ezo 23 ogwakusatu 2023 webale nnyo. Eki? Oh. Kati fenga ba PPDA twagala ba Uganda bafune business tenders omu Uganda ekiwakwese bubu by Uganda, build Uganda, or local content. Atugenda kubanga twongera sente eza contracts zive ku billion obuwumbi 45 kweyongera wagulu because obwoba contract eri ya buwumbi 45 awo tutwikiriza abobweru kujejumbiramu yabe road contract nga ya luguto ekirala oba contract ya kizimbe oba ya maze nga ya billion obuwumbi 10 ababweru tubajejumbiramu bwebwokiraba nga contract ya y'oluguuto ya billion 45 bagiwadde mu China gwedukiro waffe otugambe bano bamenya eteeka because eryo teeka twarufulumya omu mwaka gwa 2018 ati omwaka 2021 His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda era yatugamba to revising ate na signinga after approval by Parliament nga tweyongere kubanga contracts ez'abanya Uganda bajumbiramu tuzigaziwa kyorabira nga naitiro obo prisons or police oba ame nga bagula uniforms tebayinza kugenda bwero bateekwa kugula mu company eya Uganda kyakimu nedagala tulina eddagala na mukaaga erikolerwa wano mu Uganda eddagala NMS owewegula eteekwa kulugula wano mu Uganda na electrical and cables oba abamasanyalaze bagula ebyo products ezo bateekwa kuzigula wano mu Uganda ekyo kigenda kubanga kifunisa kireeta investment in those areas nga zeyongera ate n'abantu baffe ba contractors nibafuna esente zeyongerako kusinga kati ezo bakwata mwebale nnyo
tweyanze mbadde nsaba mukulu tulamye oluganda tumulekere awo olwoseka tujja dufuna edda we are going for a photo moment just front of this backdrop. Thank you so much, colleagues. Refreshments in the boardroom.